Hi, my name's Andy, and in this video we're going to be having a look at how we can link Bolero with PunQtum. Now, if you're not so familiar with PunQtum, it is a digital party line system made up of speaker stations and belt packs, which is often used, for example, a theatre that wants to have a low-cost solution. Maybe there is a customer who wants to use simple hardware just in order to communicate amongst the team. And maybe you want to be able to add some fixed positions to an existing Bolero system, or maybe you have already a kind of digital party line intercom system and you want to add in some dedicated wireless hardware. And maybe you just want to keep it nice and simple, or you want a complete solution for a theatre, for example, that really allows you to communicate between the team, some of them with fixed positions, some of them being mobile. Now, when we connect Bolero with PunQtum, we're linking the party lines between them. So a party line means that you have multiple different people all talking on the one channel. And when we link them together from the perspective of the Bolero system, it sees the PunQtum system as if it was an external I/O device. So simply audio channels coming in, audio channels going out, and then you can decide in the Bolero system which channels are going to be linked into which Bolero party lines. If you're going to be connecting Bolero with PunQtum, then there are a few requirements that we have in order to make the system work well together. In the Bolero, you need to have a minimum firmware version 3.3. For the PunQtum system, you need to have the QTools software on your computer version 2.02 as a minimum. Now, once you have the software on your computer, then that will take care of the firmware versions in the belt packs, in the speaker stations, but it's really important that the software you have is up to that version. Now, in order to have the PunQtum system available to the Bolero system, you also need to have a PunQtum license in your Bolero system, which must be on at least one antenna in your Bolero ring. And you also need to set up the PunQtum interconnect before you start setting up the Bolero. That's something we'll see when we get into it. Now, the way the system is linked together, you want to have the Bolero system in link mode. Now, there are lots of reasons for this, but one of the advantages of PunQtum is that we can use it with standard off-the-shelf network hardware. And Bolero needs a little bit more specialized network infrastructure. So by keeping the Bolero system in link mode, that ensures that it's still going to be compatible with PunQtum. Now, we also need to make sure that the different devices, the Bolero antennas and the PunQtum devices, are in the same subnet. They need some kind of IP addressing, even if that's coming as a zeroconf address. In order to link the Bolero system with the PunQtum system, the first thing we're going to do is go into the config of QTools, and here we can set up how the PunQtum system is going to be working. So we need to create an interconnect patch. Now, right now, there are no interconnect patches in my system, so the first thing I'm going to do is create one, which brings up a preset over here. And then I can select which channel as part of my PunQtum system I want to make available to Bolero. And so if I select here channel 1, then it automatically is selected going the other way. On the top, we have the patching of the audio going from Bolero to PunQtum. On the second row, we have how the audio patching is working going from PunQtum back to Bolero. So I've linked in channel 1 to channel 1, then we'll take in channel 2 to channel 2, channel 3 to channel 3, and 4 to channel 4. And I'll stop there because we're doing the same thing each time. Now, I'm also going to link in some of the control patches. Now, the controls in PunQtum are used in the same kind of way as a trigger in Bolero. So you can think of it as a virtual GPI, which you can then trigger on one system and then also have it active in the other. So here I'm going to link, for example, control 1 going from Bolero to PunQtum, and then I will take control 2 going in the other direction. So I've selected that there. That is all set up now. So then I can go to the online system and I can send the updates to the PunQtum system. So that has gone. You can see it's now sending those updates. Now, once I've sent the updates to the system, I also need to tell the speaker station that it needs to use the system patch which I've created. Now, we can create multiple system patches and have different ones on different speaker stations, but for now, I'm just going to select the one that's in our system, and then once it's there, then I will in a moment get a message up here saying that it is available but not active, which is normal because I haven't yet selected it from the Bolero system. Now, when I'm in the Bolero system, then you can see here that the PunQtum device has been detected, but it's not yet active. So I'm going to select it and then I'm going to add it to my network. So I'm adding it and I'm going to send it into a new configuration in Bolero because at the moment I don't have any configurations waiting for hardware. So that's the one I'm going to take. And then I say proceed. And then I'm going to call it PunQtum link. And then I just say apply, and then it connects and it will auto configure. We can see here that it's already detected that it has the four wires available, one trigger in, one trigger out. And now that this circle here has gone green, that shows that it's connected and it is available. So now I've created the link between the PunQtum system and the Bolero system. And so now I need to do the audio patching. Now in Bolero, we do audio patching by taking the audio channels and effectively treating them as an intercom user. So I'm going to take my channel 1 and I'm going to pretend that it is a user, and then I'm going to do an on-vox trigger so that it will only be triggering whenever there's audio actually coming in. And then I'm going to do a talk always listen command. Now the talk always listen command means that when audio comes in from PunQtum to Bolero, it will trigger a call, but the audio going out will always be active. So I select this one. The channel that I'm going to take is partyline number 1. I'm linking partyline 1 to channel 1. So now if I talk into the belt pack, 1, 2, you can see that it is coming out on the channel 1 there. So 1, 2, testing in there. And then similarly, you can see on the belt pack, if I was to start a call from here, then you can see that it is active on the belt pack, on the Bolero. So I can have audio going both ways. I've linked them up and it's working. Now, I also mentioned earlier about the idea of having triggers or controls or virtual GPIs being linked between the two systems. So I'm also going to show you how we can set that up. So in our Bolero system, we can go to the profiles of the belt packs. And for my belt pack, I have here on the keys. At the moment, I have key 5 and key 6, which are not being used. So I'm going to use key number 5 to set a trigger. And the trigger that I'm going to choose is an output trigger, which is control 1. And then for key 6, I'm going to monitor a trigger so that I can see what's happening coming in externally. So I'm going to select here control 2 because that is what I made available when I was creating the interconnect patch in PunQtum to then link into Bolero. So I've set these on the keys. I click on apply and then you'll see them come available on the belt pack. So now if I trigger control 1, then you'll see that here on PunQtum it's active. So if I'm pressing right now, and then we can see control being toggled on the PunQtum system. And then if I were to trigger the control 2 on the PunQtum system, then we can see here on Bolero that that is also triggering. So I'm able to link the two, and then I'm able to press a button on one in order to set up a virtual GPI on the other. So that's it, fairly self-explanatory, should be nice and easy, and hope you have a lot of fun connecting Bolero with PunQtum.